Well, I invite everybody to sit away from the back of your chair. So sit forward towards the end of the seat of the chair so you can, first of all, rock the top of your pelvis forward and back. So you're sitting in front of you're forward in front of your sit bones, and then you're behind your sit bones, and then just rock back and forth a couple times until you find where you're comfortable with your pelvis tilted the top of your pelvis tilted slightly forward. So it's a rocking motion, but it's the pelvis that's rocking. And of course, the rest of the body follows because it's attached. But you want to find the place where you feel centered. And now check the weight of both sit bones and get them to be as even and level as you can, both buttocks side to side. And now line up your nose and your chin with your belly button. Make sure your feet are firm to the ground. All three, the triangle or the corners, however you want to look at it. And either close your eyes or soften your gaze. And just bring your awareness to feeling the sensations of the breath. Where do you feel the inhale coming in? Where do you feel the exhale going out? You're just noticing, you're not judging, you're not criticizing. Becoming your observer. And then take that observing into the rest of your body. The rest of your body, mind, spirit, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. And notice and feel how you're feeling physically, mentally, spiritually. Checking in. Again, where do you feel strong today? And celebrating that strength. And where could you use a little help? And visualizing your breath moving into those spaces where you feel tight or tense or weak, or experiencing an emotion that could use some support. And this morning I want to share something with you from a book called Deep Listening. So I invite you just to take the words in, let yourself breathe, bring your awareness back to your breath when it leaves. This is called listening deeply. Let yourself land. Let your body land on the ground completely. Let your breath arrive in your body. Notice the pause at the end of your exhale. Your inhale will return to you on its own. Let yourself pause and relax. Relax expectations, judgments, shoulds. Listen beyond the words. Listen beyond knowing. Listen deeply. Listen into the space at the end of your exhale. Just like the breath, when we get out of the way, wisdom flows through us. Pause, soften, receive. Feel what is happening. Wisdom whispers in this space between the doing. What do you need to know right now? And so I invite you to ask yourself, what would I like to receive from yoga this morning? What would I like to receive from yoga this morning? And let all the answers come. Find the one that best fits for you this morning. It could be anything at all. And place that one thing behind your heart. And with your intention and attention, radiate that one thing to the crown of your head, the soles of your feet, the tips of your fingers, so that your whole body becomes alive with your intention. Now I invite you to begin to move with your breath so that you begin to breathe in and you bring your left arm up to the sky. Turn your palm out as you exhale. Let it float down. And then just let your arm hang there. Inhale your right arm up. Exhale, turn the palm away and let it float slowly, slowly, slowly down. And we'll move back to the left side and let it float down easily and slowly in time with your breath as best you can, letting the breath lead your movement. And as you reach your arm up, make sure that you press that same buttock, same side buttock into the chair so that you can actually feel your side body lengthening. First one, as you press the buttock down into the chair and reach the fingertips up, and then the other one. And as you do that, you can begin to notice how your sitting changes as one buttock presses into the chair and the other one is not pressing as hard. When you've done each side evenly, come back to the center. And now, close your eyes if it makes it easier for you, or soften your gaze, but really feel the buttock into the chair, both sides. See if you can get them as even as possible. And if you've drifted back, bring yourself forward again so that you can feel the top of the pelvis tilting slightly forward, and that lifts the whole front of the spine. And inhale your shoulders to your ears. Exhale them back and down. Inhale your shoulders to your ears. Exhale them back and down. Inhale them forward and up. Exhale them back and down. And just pause with them down. Does everybody have a block or a book close by? I'm sorry, I didn't think of this yesterday when I had spoken to Izzy about being here for her today. Any size, something that's 6, 7, 5 inches wide, a book is great. A block is better, but if you don't have a block, please use a book. You want your arms in front of you, holding on, pressing into the block. And now when you exhale, go ahead and bring your shoulder blades. I'm going to turn around so you can see better what I'm talking about. Bring your shoulder blades into your back and toward each other. And you'll notice when I do that, my arms are staying straight, my shoulders are staying down, and it takes a fair amount of concentration and focus to do this. So I invite you to be patient with yourself, and you're just reaching forward with the block. You're holding the block snugly, not tight, not gripping, just so that it doesn't fall down. And now I invite you to just hold the block or the book in front of you. And when you breathe in, lift the block as high as you can. If you can go over your head, great. If you can't, no worries. Just bring it out in front of you someplace. And breathe here a couple of breaths. And now bring your shoulder blades in. Let the block come closer to you without bending your elbows. And now just go ahead and release the block down. And just bring it on your lap for a moment. Actually, bring it this way on your lap for a moment. And bring your right arm in front of you. Take your left hand so that it's right in the center of your palm. And very gently press your palm, your fingers back. It helps, and if you don't have a block but you have a table in front of you, go ahead and put your arm on the table so that you've got something supporting that right forearm. And you're not pushing really hard, and you're not pushing your fingers, you're pressing the palm so that the movement, and we have limited movement in our wrists. You're not going to be able to bring it back even to 90 degrees because the wrist doesn't bend to 90 degrees. So if you've got your fingers, I'm encouraging you to press your palm. And just breathe here for a couple of breaths, a couple more breaths. And now relax your hands, shake them out a little bit. And bring your other forearm either onto a block, the book, the table, something to support. And now take your right palm into the left palm and gently press back. And just breathe here. Check in with your pelvis as you're here. And now relax your hands down, shake them out a little bit. Bring your left hand to your left shoulder. Bring your right hand over your head. Very gently. Keep your nose and chin in line with your belly button and very gently pull your right ear toward your right shoulder, and you'll feel a nice stretch through here. Just let yourself breathe here. You can even visualize your breath moving into that space that you're creating on your left side. And now just bring your right hand to your right shoulder, your left hand onto the top of your head. Breathe in. When you exhale, nose and chin in line with your belly button, and gently pull your left ear toward your left shoulder. Relax your left shoulder down. Visualize your breath moving into the space on the right side of your neck. Breathe in and out. Check in with the top of your pelvis. Always checking in with your pelvis. And now bring your left hand to your left shoulder and make circles with your elbows. Gentle circles, slow circles. We're not a propeller. We're just trying to move. Oops. And now reverse your elbow circles. Bring your hands back down and just let them float back and forth. You can put your block on the floor or your book, whatever you were using. And now alternate. So one arm is forward and the other is back. And you don't have to go really high. It's just a forward and back motion as best you can. And now bring your arms to your sides. Shake your hands out. Inhale your shoulders to your ears. Let's pause here with our shoulders to our ears for 2 breaths. And then slowly relax them down. Inhale your shoulders forward and up. Exhale them back and down. Inhale them forward and up. Exhale them back and down. And now bring your arms across your chest with the left hand under, or the left arm under the right. And bring your hands up or out. If you can cross your elbows at your elbows, go ahead and do that. If you can't, just let them be where they can be, and let the backs of the hands face each other without bending your wrists. So your wrists are straight, and you might be here, you might be here, you might be here, but when your wrists start to bend, you've gone a little too far, and just straighten your wrists out. And use the screen in front of you like a mirror, so you can see if your wrists are straight or not. Because a lot of times we're here, we think our wrists are straight. And in fact, you can see that mine are not. So use it as a mirror to give you the information. Breathe in, reach your elbows away. Breathe out, let your arms come up and out and down, and then reverse your hug. And we'll do the same thing, paying really close attention to the wrists and the hands being an extension of each arm. So wherever you need to be, you can go there. And wherever you go, you can feel your shoulder blades moving out and forward. Check yourself in your screen. Feel where your breath comes in. Feel where your breath goes out. And now just release your arms all the way out, all the way up, all the way down. Left shoulder makes a circle. Right shoulder makes a circle. And now both of them together. And just breathe here. Close your eyes or soften your gaze and just check in with your whole upper body from the pelvis upward. To feel whatever you're feeling. Maybe your hands are tingling. Maybe your shoulders feel a little bit looser than when we started. Breathe in and out. Relax your hands wherever you want to. Keep your nose and your chin in line with your belly button. And take your gaze. So your eyes are going to go as far to the left as they can, without moving your head and without changing where your nose and your chin are in relation to your belly button. Stay centered and look all the way over to your left, as far as you can go, and then a little farther. Keep your eyes in that direction. You can actually feel stretching, and that's what I'm going to call it. Bring your eyes back to the center. And now your eyes go the other way, over to the right. Your chin stays centered. Your nose doesn't move. Your head doesn't move. Just your eyes. Look to the left, to the right, Look to the right. As far to the right as you can go, and then maybe a little bit farther. And keep them there. It feels weird. Maybe. And then bring your eyes back to the center. And now bring your hand under your chin, just to remind you to keep your head where it is and look down. So you're not moving your chin, you're not bowing your head, you're resting your chin on your hand to remind you to look straight, your nose stays straight ahead, but your eyes look down. And keep them looking down for another breath in and out. And now bring them back up to the center. Same thing. You can switch hands. Hand under your chin to remind you not to do this. Keep your nose where it is and look up. Look up. Look up as if you could look into your forehead and see all your beautiful thoughts. Look up as if you could look now into your eyelids. And now bring your gaze back to the center. Relax your hands down. Inhale your arms either over your head or to your head and turn to your left side. Let your right side move so that you can turn freely. Breathe in, come back to the center. Come forward in your chair if you've snuck back. When you exhale, turn to the right. Inhale back to the center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the right. Remember to put your hands wherever it's most comfortable for you. And when you turn, let the opposite side come forward. So we're letting the pelvis lead, we're listening to the body, we're honoring the body as it is. This time when you go to the left, stay there for 3 breaths, in and out. Make sure the top of your pelvis is tilted slightly forward. And when you finish your 3rd breath, come back to the center on that 4th inhale. Exhale, go to the opposite side. Make sure your feet are flat to the ground. So if you need to move them, feel free to move them. Check in with the top of your pelvis. Feel how when you do that, it lifts the whole front of the body. Bring yourself back to the center and relax your hands down. Shake your arms out if that feels good. Inhale, reach up in whatever way you can. When you exhale, turn to your left once more. Bring your right arm down. Put your right hand on your left leg. Rest your right elbow on your right thigh. Reach your left buttock into the chair and your left fingertips either up to the sky or rest them on your head. Bring your right ribs forward and breathe here. Keep reaching that left buttock into the chair. And keep breathing. On your next exhale, bring yourself back to the center. Pause here just to notice whatever there is to notice. On your inhale, reach your hands up. When you exhale, turn to the other side. Your left hand is on your right thigh. Your left elbow is on your left thigh. Bring your left rib slightly forward. Bring your right hand either up to the sky or to your head or to your shoulder, if that works better for you today. Reach your right buttock into the chair. Tip the top of your pelvis forward. And notice what happens. If you were with me, you would hear me doing a lot of creaking. On your next exhale, come back to the center. Pause right here, hands on your thighs or at your sides, whatever works better for you. Eyes closed or gaze softened. So you're sitting in mountain, you're sitting in Tadasana. And you check in. Are your feet firm to the ground? Is the top of your pelvis tilted just a little bit forward? Do you feel how the front of your spine is lifting? And checking in with the whole rest of the body. How are you feeling? What are you feeling? Where are you feeling it? Seated in mountain, strong, tall, imperturbable, rigorous, alive. The waves of emotion can never carry me away. Words of Thich Nhat Hanh. Now I invite you to open your eyes and to come to your toes. And now bring your heels down. And come to your toes again. And bring your heels down. And if you need to look to make sure that you're actually on the balls of your feet, you're not on the toes. So the toes need to be touching the ground all the way across. So that sounds really easy, but it doesn't always work out that way. And we want to be careful and attentive to what's happening with our feet. And now stretch your left leg out in front of you. Point your toes towards your knee. And now away. So you're dorsal flexing and then pointing your toes. Heel on the ground. And now bend that knee again and stretch the other leg out and point and flex and point and flex and point and flex. I think I said this last week, we were doing something similar. This movement of pointing and flexing your foot is actually more important to us than making gentle circles. This is great, it feels good, but this particular one is more important. Think about it, it's your walking motion. Now bend that knee and bring both feet to the mat. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, let your hands come behind you. Hold on somewhere on the chair and let your upper body come forward. As you do this, I invite you to notice at what point the top of your pelvis starts to tilt back. Let it, just let it, but notice. And we'll breathe here for several breaths so that this, from shoulder to shoulder, across the chest, can let go of some of the tension and the tightness that tend to settle there. And each of us hold our tension differently, but many people carry tension in our chest, in our pelvis, in our lower back, in our neck, our throat. So let's just let the wisdom of our body, sometimes we question that, maybe on a daily basis, but let the softness flow. And notice how as you stay here, you start to feel a kind of letting go. Maybe you feel it in your shoulders, maybe you feel it in your upper back, maybe you feel it in your neck. But notice where you experience it. Breathe in, and on your exhale, pay attention to what's happening in the top of your pelvis. Bring your forearms to your knees or down toward the ground and let your head hang. And now notice what's happening in the top of your pelvis. In this position, it's going back. And when that happens, it allows the rest of the back to round and allows us to hang our head with optimal comfort for any given day. Just let yourself breathe here. You can have your arms on your legs or between your legs, wherever it works for you. On your next inhale, come halfway up. When you exhale, sit all the way up, but notice your pelvis. So as you're coming up, notice how it shifts and how that allows you to sit better. So now turn to your left side. Sit with the back of your left knee against the seat of the chair. Sit so that your left arm is on the back of the chair somewhere. Your right buttock is off the chair and your right thigh is wherever you can put it. Press your left buttock into the chair. You'll feel more stable and you'll be aligning the pelvis. And just let yourself breathe here. You can close your eyes, you can soften your gaze, you relax your right hand down. You can visualize your breath moving into and out of that part of your body, the psoas muscle just below the rib cage, just above the kneecap. So you can experience the softness of the exhale. You can feel a letting go happening. And just like tension spreads, softness spreads. So notice where the softness is spreading in your body. And on your next inhale, bring your right hand behind your thigh to pull that knee forward. Bring your right hand inside the thigh to pull that leg out to whatever angle, whatever degree you can. And now facing your left leg, make sure your ankle is under your thigh and your foot is on the ground or on a block if you're using a block. Inhale your hands up or bring your hands to your shoulders or your head and just Tilt the top of your pelvis forward slightly and let the whole front of your body open. And just breathe here. And on the next exhale, relax your hands down. Bring your left arm to the chair. Lean against the back of the chair. Stretch your right leg out. And bring your left hand and arm over your right hand and arm over your head, or on your head, or on your shoulder. And simply breathe and visualize your breath the full length of the right side of your body. On your next inhale, reach your arm as best you can. When you exhale, bring your right hand behind your right thigh to pull that knee forward. And just sit in a mountain sideways on your chair for just a moment. Hold on to the back of the chair if it helps you feel more stable, safer. And now make your way slowly back to the center of your chair to pause here in mountain for just a moment, noticing whatever there is to notice about the sides of your body right now. Right here, right now. And on your next exhale, turn to your other side. The back of the right knee is against the seat of the chair. Right arm on the back of the chair. Left buttock off the chair. Left knee pointing down to the ground, or in whatever way you can. Relax your left arm. Tilt the top of your pelvis slightly forward so you can feel the lifting of the front of the pelvis, the front of the spine. Line up your nose and your chin with your belly button. Close your eyes or soften your gaze and visualize your breath moving into and out of that muscle group on the left side of your body this time. Feel the softness. Notice where it enters. Notice where it spreads. Bring your left hand behind your left thigh. Pull that knee forward. Take your left hand inside the left thigh to pull it out to the side to whatever degree feels good to you. Turn your upper body so it faces your right knee. And inhale, reach your hands up to the sky and keep them there, or bring your hands wherever your body needs you to in order to sustain this direction over your right leg. And breathe here. In and out. Feeling where you feel the breath come in and go out. And now inhale your hands up to the sky again. Exhale, right hand on the back of the chair. Lean against the back of the chair. Stretch your left leg out and bring your left hand over your head. Or to your shoulder or your head, wherever it serves you today. On your next inhale, let your left hand pull you up. Bring your hand behind your thigh to pull that knee forward. Pause right here. This is a moment where we're integrating what we've done so far, a samana moment in Ayurveda, a moment of balance, harmony. And make your way back to the center of your chair. Left leg, left ankle on your right thigh, if that's accessible to you, or open your legs as wide as you can. Choose what works better for you. Remember, if you have to do this in order to put your ankle up there for today's purposes, it doesn't serve us. So let yourself come back to the center. But bring all of your awareness to your left buttock area, your left hip, your left pelvic area. And every time you breathe out, experience that breath as a broom, sweeping out all the dust, all the detritus, all the harmful emotions, all the challenging emotions that tend to settle in that area. Freeing the pelvis to move more freely. Softening the back. On your next exhale, if your leg is lifted, go ahead and put it down. Bring the right ankle onto the left thigh, or stay here in this position and bring your awareness to the right buttock area, the right pelvic area, the right lower back. Notice your breath, feel the breath coming in, notice where you experience it, where you feel it. And with each exhale, notice where you feel the breath going out and visualize the breath taking with it, letting go of tension, tightness, negativity. Freeing your mind, body, spirit to move and think and feel more clearly, to respond instead of to react. Now, if you have your leg lifted, go ahead and put it down. Bring yourself back to the center. Inhale your arms up into the sky. Exhale, turn to your left side. Bring your left hand behind you, your right hand in front of you. You can hold on to the chair. Let the top of your pelvis tilt forward and bring your left hand as far behind you as you can. So to the other side of the chair. I can't do that, so I can't show you, but bring it behind your back and over to the right, toward the right. You don't have to be touching the chair when you do that. Just let your left hand inch its way, centimeter its way over toward the right side. And just feel the letting go that's happening here. Those of you who drive, I encourage you to not use your screen of, you know how the backup screen, you can watch yourself, I can't, but you watch yourself as you're backing up. Instead, exercise these muscles and turn to look, well, we're doing the opposite shoulders, but turn to look when it's your turn. Turn to look over your right shoulder to get yourself out of a space or into a space. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, reach up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, turn to the opposite side. Your left hand is holding onto the chair. Your right hand is holding onto the chair for a moment. And then walk your right fingertips over to the left side as far as you can. And this is where you would be looking as you back up instead of on the screen that's in front of you. It's a wonderful tool, but it takes us out of a movement, the twisting movement, that is really important, not only to our spine, but to all the organs that get massaged every time we twist. And let's come back to the center. Relax your hands on your thighs, however it feels comfortable for you. Knees are still wide. Tilt the top of your pelvis forward, so come forward in your chair if you've slid back. You've all heard my conspiracy theory, how chairs have that little dip in them, because when we sit there, we end up like this. And that is so not good for our breathing, for our body, for our mind. So come forward, sit on the edge, tilt the top of your pelvis forward, relax your hands, line up your nose and your chin with your belly button. Make sure your feet are firm to the ground. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. And bring your awareness once more to feeling your breath. Feeling your breath as it enters your body, noticing where that's happening. Noticing where the breath goes as you're breathing in. Noticing where the breath leaves your body the path it takes on the way out of the body. Notice the pause at the end of your inhale and at the end of your exhale. We're not trying to reconfigure or remake or rearrange the breath. We're simply observing our breath as we're breathing. And today we're not counting anything. We're feeling. Feeling the breath as it comes in. Noticing where it goes. Noticing the pause at the top of the inhale. Noticing the breath as it leaves the body, the path it takes, where we feel it leaving the body, and the pause at the end of the exhale. Feeling the cycles of your breath. When you're tempted to count, it's okay, because that's a great tool. See if you can let go of the counting and simply feel your breath. And some of you may not have the habit of counting, so disregard what I just said. You're simply noticing as you breathe what you're feeling, how the breath comes into the body, what it does, without you directing it. And now notice what you're noticing as you pay attention to the breath. Have you noticed it changing? Is it getting faster? Is it getting slower? Is it getting softer? Is it getting deeper or louder? What are you noticing? Is your breath changing? If it is, how is it changing? Now I invite you to draw a very deep breath all the way to the soles of your feet. To pause in the fullness of your breath. And now slowly, slowly, slowly let the breath out, letting it carry away with it any remaining tension or tightness of the mind, body, spirit. And pause in the stillness. And before we come back to the center, I invite you to lift and spread your toes, keeping the rest of your foot from the toe box to the heel on the floor. And now bring your toes back down and lift just the heel. And let your foot rock back and forth a couple of times. Heel down, just the toes up. Toes down, just the heel up. And it doesn't have to be a big, dramatic movement. It's just letting a little bit of movement come back into the body after our stillness. And now bring your feet back fully to the ground. Open your hands, your fingers as wide as you can get them, and now make a gentle fist. Open your fingers as wide as you can get them, and now make a gentle fist. One more time. Open your fingers as wide as you can, and make a gentle fist. Relax your hands. Pause right here. Rest right here. And now if you have glasses on, you'll want to take them off. Rub your hands rigorously together to generate some heat. Very gently cup your hands over your eyes and receive the warmth from your hands and your eyes and their sockets, your cheekbones, your jawbone, all the way down to your heart. Place a smile behind your eyes, behind your lips, behind your heart, and receive the softness that moves into your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Let's bring our palms together in front of our heart. We'll honor ourselves and each other with the word that's used throughout the Himalayas to say hello and goodbye, and which means the light that is me honors the light that is you. Namaste. 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 All right.